Here we are on March 31st. Welcome to Mob Vlog, and today is Rednesday, believe it or not, once again. And it looks like we're almost 50 people. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. And for those of you that are new who haven't been here yet, welcome back. It's Mob Vlog. So, of course, Rednesday means that we have Red Wemette today, and what a cool day it is today, Red, to have you on. And, of course, our topic is going to be Tony Spilotro.
And I'm back on Facebook now. I wasn't able to make any comments on YouTube because Google knocked me off.
Okay. Wow, so Google said, that's it, you're done. They put you in Facebook jail. What happened?
No, Google took me off. Facebook was okay.
Okay, well,
they deleted my name.
So, everybody who might be here, be sure to hit the like button. This is great. I love starting out with a nice crowd of almost 70 people already, and you guys are fantastic. I want to say thank you guys very much for tuning in once again. It is always a pleasure to have you guys. And let me just say hi to a few people, and we're going to get started into the meat of things. Cindy Workman, how are you? It's going well, Cindy. Sean Pender, Philip Wright, Eric Epstein, Christopher Maltesanti. Look at that. Adam the Butcher. Maltesanti. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Leanne, I hope you're driving safely today. Tim Halverson, Tony Montana, Outfit Boss. The whole gang's here. Sonny Zaro's
I'm getting
here.
to know some of these people. They're getting familiar.
Imran Patel. I've never heard that one before. South Africa, though, in the house, buddy. Awesome. Patrick O'Neill, Chain Weaver, American Gangster, Calzone, Carl Foster. Well, you guys are all here today. I love it. I love it. Mike Alexander, Hughesy's even here. Hughesy 67. So Will Moose is over there in England, London, or is that Mossy? Maybe it's Mossy.
Mossy.
Mossy, yeah. The Butcher. Now you guys see why I got the name. If I owned a meat market in an Italian neighborhood, I'd be a millionaire. That's how badly I butcher these names. Bruce City, hello. Oh, you're in Illinois. Again, you're always close to Chicago when we talk about Chicago, Leanne. That's how it works. Con Conley. Okay, we're almost up to 100 people. So we're going to jumping into the meat of things. I put a couple of videos together to show you guys today. We're going to roll those while we're talking. But, Red, let's get started. So, sure. A couple of controversial things that are going on.
Well, why don't we start at the beginning? I first met Tony. So there's a lot of discrepancy. People ask me on different things. I first met Tony in 1968, before they actually did the Teamsters loan. And then Tony was flying in and out of town all the time with Irv Weiner. They were doing the Teamsters thing at the factory. The Pail Factory in Deming, New Mexico. And Joey Hansen was with him at that time. He was out of Phoenix.
Okay. So that's when you first met Tony?
Yes. I thought I put that out there before anybody gets confused.
You were like, let's start at the beginning. And I was sitting there going, oh boy, here we go. Red's going to be like, so, back in 19... I first came into the world. Oh, man. Okay, so you met Tony then. So let's get a little serious here.
Way before he went to Vegas. Before he went to Vegas.
Okay, and then when he started going in and out of Vegas, stopping in Chicago, you say he used to stop in very often and see you.
He was back they had their own 707. They used to fly they leased a 707, him and Irv Weiner, and they used to fly their own plane back and forth.
Wow. Now, Tony was sent out in 71 to Las Vegas.
Right.
Now, was he Marshall Caifano's replacement? Because Caifano was out here.
He was his replacement, so to speak. They had an interim replacement of Johnny Roselli. But when the time came, they thought he was the man for the job.
Okay. So he was sent out. Now, Tony got out to Las Vegas in 71, started up a jewelry store inside the Stardust, which was Anthony Stewart Limited. That
Right.
was his wife Nancy's maiden name was Stewart, so he went Anthony Stewart Limited, and he ran that jewelry store until they threw him out.
He told me that was a haberdashery. That's what he called it. It's a haberdashery.
Haberdashery?
Yeah, that's what he called it.
Isn't a haberdashery like a
circus, right?
Like a general store? Yeah, yes. It was.
They had shoes, purses, all different kinds of things there.
Okay.
He didn't say it was a jewelry store.
Okay.
But you guys know from seeing it, I never saw it.
It's not until that one of those recent Quentin Tarantino movies, I think it was The Hateful Eight or something, that I first heard the word haberdashery. So you're the second person in my life that I've heard haberdashery.
Well, Tony was from that era. That's what they called them. They were fancy shops.
Mm-hmm.
And later somebody said it was a gift shop. They called it a gift shop.
Ah, okay. Okay, so he had that. They told him you can't be here because of his ties. So, which I believe was
Lefty. His ties with Lefty.
Right. Who was it that was running Circus Circus? Jay Sarno, I believe.
Yes, he was out of Kansas City.
Okay. Colonel Reb. Hey, Colonel Reb, thank you very much for throwing that at us. I really appreciate it, my friend. So he got thrown out. Now he went down to Sahara Avenue, and he opened up the Gold Rush Jewelry Store, which is, I believe I did a video where I went out there on site and showed it's right next to the Golden Steer. You can see Circus Circus from where the Gold Rush Jewelry Store was. But anyway, I digress. A lot of people are asking this specific question, and they don't believe it. You said in one of the videos that you told Tony you were a mole.
Yes.
And everyone said there's no friggin' way that you told Tony you were a mole because you'd have been dead.
That's what people tell me.
Yeah.
But
tell us. How did this
work? We never talked about the things I know about Tony now. We never talked about anything like that. He used to stop by at my house every time he came into town. Mm-hmm. He'd stop by my house. He never call. All the other guys used to call. He never did. And it'd always be at night when it's dark out. He'd park like half a block away and ring the doorbell.
Mm-hmm.
And after a period, I don't know, years went by. I think it was in 1976 that I actually told him we were sharing some scotch, and I decided I wanted to tell him and see what was going to go. The FBI really got upset when I told him. But he never gave me up. The guy never gave me up. Even to the day he died, he never gave me up.
Why did you tell him?
I don't know. It was one of those kind of things. We were rapping. We were talking about different things. And I think the FBI came up with a conversation. And I just decided to do it. I trust him. That's the answer. I trust him. He was one of my closer friends. I trusted him. And he trusted me, obviously. There's things he talked to me about that I'm not going to repeat, period. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Was it also a reason that you told him to kind of let him know not to come around there, to incriminate himself?
No.
No?
He was safe in my neighborhood. I lived on Richmond, 4121 Richmond. And that was way out by Gordon Tech, out in that area. Irving Park in California.
Okay. So that's one thing. By the way, Colonel Reb, it was a gift shop in Circus Circus. Jay Sarno owned Circus Circus. Anthony Stewart Limited. Maybe I said Stardust.
No, you said Circus Circus.
Circus Circus. Okay. So a lot was going on towards the end of Tony's life, and I'm going to play this because we're up to about 120 people now that are on, and somebody's asking here. JS is asking, was Tony an informant?
No.
Yeah, I've never heard anything like that.
Lefty, no, I didn't know about it.
Lefty was an informant.
Yes, he was.
But not Tony, no.
Right.
Okay.
But I did not know about him until after Family Secrets.
Okay. So, now, everybody asks this. As a matter of fact, I had some friends in town earlier today, and I went around and took them around to a few places, and they called me up and said, "Hey, let's do this thing." So I took them.
Let's
around
go for a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go for a ride and talk. Matter of fact, because they watch this all the time, and it was a lot of fun. Anyhow, we went around and they even asked today about it. Tony and the mob, everything getting all coming down, to an end in Las Vegas, coming to a head was because Tony was out there being incriminated for this, that, all kinds of things. And this was the one of the reasons that the outfit had problems, I guess, with him. And he was doing a lot of the cocaine. Yeah,
he was doing a lot. At the end, he was doing an awful lot.
Right.
When the 80s hit, the cocaine hit, and he hit.
Okay.
He liked things in excess. He was compulsive.
Well, even Frank said that. Frank said that it was, they did cocaine quite a bit there, and they were even, stealing from drug dealers and whatnot out here in Las Vegas. So
I guess it was easy money.
There you go. So, all right. So look, there was a lot of things going on in the 80s with Tony, and our wonderful mayor. I love Oscar Goodman, fantastic mayor of Las Vegas. But he was
fantastic attorney. That guy went with him when he went to Chicago, and wherever he went to trial, he went to that state.
Everywhere. And Oscar was getting him off of everything. And not just he was getting off of everything, but certain things were happening untimely. Okay? Events took place. Let's watch this next minute here. Check it out. This is from the news back then.
Okay. The name of Tony Spilotro has attracted the attention of law enforcement officials, some of whom think Spilotro is the most cunning and dangerous member of the crime syndicate.
In 1963, Spilotro was accused of the murder of a loan shark. Spilotro was acquitted when his co-defendant was shotgunned to death. In 1979, Spilotro suffered 2 convictions for filing a false loan application. The sentence, a $1 fine. In 1974, Spilotro was arrested here in Las Vegas for murder. The case was dropped. Later that year, Spilotro was accused of defrauding the Teamsters Union. All of the defendants, including some of the top men in the Chicago mob, were acquitted after the untimely death of the prosecution's star witness. A 1981 racketeering case is still pending in court. Prosecutors were appealing that case. In 1983, Spilotro was tried for the torture murder of 2 Chicago street punks. He was acquitted. There were at least 15 other arrests, not a single conviction. Law enforcement officials had yet to beat Spilotro in court. A longtime Chicago mob observer reported,
"Some predict Tony will take a big fall someday, but it hasn't happened yet. So far, Spilotro has lived a charmed life."
That charmed life ended last week. If the killers follow true to form of most mob hits, Spilotro's murderers will likely go unpunished. Mark Fierro, Eyewitness News 8.
So, you hear that whole string of things?
That was a Chicago feed. That was Bill Curtis and John Drummond.
That was. Matter of fact, you recognize the voices.
No, I recognize the face of Bill Curtis.
Oh, okay.
He was young then. He's not looking this good lately.
Very young. Will Mossy, he says, sorry, are you saying that Red told Tony that Red was working with the feds? That's exactly
No,
what
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it. Adam doesn't, he can say it, but I'm telling you, it's direct.
There you have it. So so what was Tony like? I mean, when you hung out with them, you guys had scotches. I mean, you said there's some things.
Easygoing guy. I mean, very easygoing. Laughed a lot. Enjoyed life. He liked scotch. He liked his scotch.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just an easygoing guy. It's like when he bought me the car. I didn't want that car. He went to straighten out a problem at Barron's Lincoln Mercury because they told me to come in. I said, I'm not going. He said, come on, get in the car. He just happened to be there that night.
Mm-hmm. And how about the story about him buying a car that he gifted you a vehicle?
That was because I did a bedtime story on it on my channel. Did it years ago. we went there to straighten out a problem about the owner's wife. She worked for TRW Credit Agency. I think they're out of business now. They were in California. But I had my father's credit mixed up with my credit, and I went in, and she locked the door. It was keyed on both sides. I had to leave. She picked me up off the ground. She was really huge. She was taller than you are. But anyway.
Big girl. Amazon. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's what I called her. Excuse me.
Bless you.
At any rate, I went on, did my shopping. I actually took a desk and threw it through the window to get out of there. But I went on to do my shopping, and it turned out she was the wife of the owner of Barron's Lincoln Mercury, where I bought my car. So Al Bianca, who was Jackie Cerrone's nephew, so he told me, was the finance manager. I got allergies, guy. At any rate, he called me, and he told me, he said, who'd you hurt today? I said, I didn't hurt anybody today. And so he said, well, you better get over here and straighten this out. And I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not straightening out anything with you. I'm not going. And I was pacing the floor afterwards, and the doorbell rang, and it was Tony. And Tony said, what's got you so upset? And I told him. Excuse me. And he said, get in the car. He said, get in the car. Let's go over there. So I figured I was okay with him. And we went over there, and he went and talked to the owner, straightened things out. And on the way, he told me to wait in the showroom. And while I was waiting in the showroom, he told me, look at the cars, do something, kill time. So while I was doing that, he came out and he said, do you see anything you like? And I said, I just bought a Mark IV. And so he said, oh, he said, well, is there anything that you like? I said, the Mark IV has a smaller seat, because I was comparing them to the town cars. And there was a town car that was really loaded. And I said, it's a very nice car. And when I said that, he called to the owner and said, write that up for me. I want that. And so he wrote it up. After he wrote it up, he turned around and he says, put his name on the title. And he said, by the way, it's on the house. Put it on my tab. He said, we're taking it with us right now. So we drove in my car and went back in two of my cars. That car eventually went to Joey Lombardo's son. He was part of a union deal. He was president of, I forget which union, but it went into union's name. The title went to union's name.
Of course it did.
I hardly ever use that car.
Wow. 7542 Ben, thank you very much for that contribution. Really appreciate it. Quickly, Imran Patel wants to know, is it true Joseph Ferriola had Tony Spilotro whacked? There were several.
I believe he gave the order. I believe. That's my own personal belief. I believe he gave the order because he was in charge at the time. And all the other ones that were all in on it that went to the basement, they were all brought there separately. They didn't even know where they were going.
Okay.
So they were people that had interests in Chicago, but they figured I'm guessing now that they figured if they had to pay Tony tribute if he came back to Chicago because they needed a boss. Ferriola was going. So all the other guys that were in line just said, we'll take him out. That's all. And he had a bad heart condition. He stopped the coke. He stopped all the other stuff,
Didn't he just have had a like a triple bypass? Quad bypass? Right. A good punch to the chest would have probably done him in.
I don't. He was a tough guy, but he was walking around okay. That's the only time he ever came into town that I know of where he didn't stop by my house. The only time. He usually called. He never called first. All the other guys would call first, but he didn't come by. And when I saw it on the news that night, it was on the evening news. It was the next day. They reported on the evening news that he was missing. And Alan Ackerman lived right down the street from me. And Alan Ackerman got on and says, "Oh, they're probably on holiday. They're frolicking." And I said, "That's it. I knew he was gone." Yeah. I liked him so much. It upset me emotionally. And I went upstairs and I stayed drunk for 2 weeks.
Jeez. That's, it's no good.
And then I got told I couldn't go to his funeral.
Really? By who? The marshals told you couldn't? Couldn't show up. Couldn't show your face. Yeah.
Everybody over at Grand and Ogden told me, don't go to the funeral, period.
Now, real quick, Red, I don't mean to cut you off here, but guys, if you're just coming in, hit the like button, smash the like button. There's almost 200 of you in here, so make sure you hit the like button.
4 likes for Adam.
There you go. And Philip Wright, Gianni Russo taught Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee karate. What a life that guy, you know? I can't.
The dragon and Gianni Russo's life.
I can't help it. So I love you guys. You're awesome. You're just hilarious.
We got the Gianni Russo jokes.
Yeah, right? Be sure to hit the like button, though. Seriously, guys. Did you ever meet his brother, Mike Spilotro?
I never met Michael. We called him Mikey. I saw him a couple times, but I saw him at the Bird's Nest over on Wells and Division.
Okay.
But
so you never...
No, he was there. Tom Sullick was there.
Mm-hmm.
There were other people there. I forget his name. Baba Black Sheep. He played in Conrad. Bob Conrad. The only guy that I do know that showed up at his funeral that I knew of, that I actually knew personally.
Right.
To see.
Wow.
Nice guy.
Scott H. Hey, brother. How you doing, man? By the way, I saw another face. You know what I'm saying? And it looked very similar, again, by the place that we were at. I'm just talking in code, okay? Now, okay. Scott H., were they beaten and strangled or just beat with fists and feet? Do you know from the testimony?
I was told by Schweiss that they just killed him. Everything else I knew was from the news.
Okay.
Everything else I knew was, Nick Calabrese said he held his legs while Louis Ebley garroted him.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a garrote around his neck and choked him. And then somebody else, I think Calabrese, came over and slit his throat.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Do you know the date was June 14th, 86? Does that sound right?
That's
Father's
right.
Day
That's
Eve?
the date.
On the eve of Father's Day, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So
he told his daughter, Michael told his daughter, it was in the paper. She testified at Family Secrets. He told his daughter, he showed her a picture of Schweiss, and he said, if you ever see this guy, lock the doors and dial 911 right away.
Right.
But he was there. He told me about it.
Okay. Now, the night of the actual, when they went to bury the brothers in that cornfield, which you guys saw that in that little video clip, and somebody asked here earlier, I was reading in the comments, was that Iupa's land? Yes, the forested area, or was it
at one time? He sold that though. That was his old hunt club.
Okay, and then
he sold it and moved. He moved to someplace else because it got hot over there.
Okay, so that new hunt club was further down the road though from the burial area, but he used. They didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't know what they were doing, and they went there, and the ground was hard in the trees and everything.
The clay and the roots.
It's a soft land over here at nighttime.
Right.
It's dark.
Right.
It's dark.
Okay, so what else happened that night? Somebody had their headlights on. Was that Taco?
They had the headlights on the car. There was no lights out there. So in order to dig the grave, they had their headlights on. Well, the guy shut the engine off, and the battery went dead. So one car was down. They had to jump it. It caught fire. There were all kinds of problems with it. Then the other car broke down. Something went bad with the alternator on the way home. And so Taco calls his wife, and he's on a wiretap. Now, they knew, the FBI knew about this, all these murders, the murders and everything, but they had nothing to prove it with. They had no eyewitnesses. They didn't have a case yet. So it was going to come up in Family Secrets.
Okay.
And they were going to get Schweiss with it, and who else? Somebody else was in the trial. Marcello. Jimmy Marcello was there. He was another one that was there.
He was another one. Okay.
Yeah. But Louis Ebley died in 87. He died of, he had cancer of the spleen. No, it wasn't the spleen. something else. He died of cancer.
Okay. Now, speaking of Tony and all that's going on, there is a movie that's coming out based on, well, it's loosely based, whatever, on Tony Spilotro's life. And supposedly in the movie, they're going to depict Tony killing Sam Giancana. Is that right?
That was on the Gangster Report. If you read the Gangster Report from this morning, it's by Nick Solozzi Jr.
Okay. Sounds like it's going to be interesting.
I made a comment and I said I want to watch it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Philip Wright movie. That's exactly what we're talking about. You're talking about screenplay.
If you pop up the Gangster Report, it was just released on the 31st. The news release was released today on the 31st, this morning.
On the Gangster Report?
That's the name of it. Type in The Gangster Report and it will come up.
Okay, so
you may have to scroll down to one picture of the Gangster Report. It's the first picture below it.
Okay, so here you go. For those of you that can see your screens, there it is. The Gangster Report. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Straight from Chicago, the Solozzi's story is coming to silver screen in Spilotro Mob Pick. Interesting. Okay. So that's also happening. Figured you guys would be interested in knowing about that since we're talking about Tony. Now, somebody asked, Man on the Moon. So, was it Tony who killed Momo?
I believe it was. Other people say it was Butch Blassie, so.
Bruce City is going to say that it was Blassie. I can tell you that right now, and I don't even think Bruce City's watching right now, but I guarantee you, and everybody has their theories. Everybody has their theories as to who did it. As a matter of fact, Bob Dog 2010 said that Gianni Russo introduced Red to Tony. So you could thank Gianni Russo for that.
Who said that now?
Bob Dog 2010.
Bob Dog, you got a good substance. I like you.
So Giovanni Tofano, how many people did Spilotro personally kill?
I have no idea. Tony and I never talked about murders or any business. We didn't talk about any business. The only way he would talk about business with me is he'd say, "How are things going?" And I'd say, "Okay, that's it. No details, no anything." I never asked him how things were out in Vegas. I asked him if it was hot out there. I asked him if he liked the weather out there, and he said, "Oh yeah, he loved the weather." He said, "I don't like coming back here when it's cold. I don't mind it when it's warm."
Right. Yeah.
And he used to wear suits. You know, he was a flashy dresser. I liked his sharkskin suits.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you were a big fan of sharkskin. Yeah, I love sharkskin.
It was flashy.
Yeah, that's exactly why I like it. You know, the whole magician thing. It looks, you know.
And the first time I ever heard him called the little guy was at American Bonding. He had just gone out the door. He went to grab something to eat, and they said, "Grab the little guy." Somebody grabbed the little guy. Bring him back in here. They want to talk about business. They went in one of the offices in the back.
Right. Hey, Luminous Grin, thank you very much, brother. Appreciate that that donation. Thank you.
Nice
very much.
Folks, man. They're supporting your channel.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what. Speaking of supporting the channel and all, if you're watching this after the fact, click up there in the corner, and you'll see a little link to Red's channel. Red, you just hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to say subscribers.
But now.
Yeah, you're out to. Yeah, you're starting to get things going over there on your channel. So if you guys haven't,
somebody must like some of the stories I'm telling.
If you guys haven't seen Red's channel, go over and check out his channel. Some of his videos, they're all there. Quickly, somebody asked, was Tony ordered to kill Frank Cullotta? And
I don't know if that's in order. When Joey called him, Joey Lombardo called him.
Yeah.
He told him, he said, "Clean house. You're running sloppy out there."
Let's hear Frank tell the story. Check it out.
Why I rolled. Rolled means that I became a government witness. I was never an informant. There's a big difference between being an informant and a government witness. And the reason why I rolled was Charlie Parson. He was in charge, second in charge of Las Vegas FBI. While I was locked up in Clark County Jail, he told me that there was a contract out of my life. I immediately told him to get the fuck out of the cell. I didn't want to talk to him because I know the way the FBI and law enforcement work. So he stopped by the door and he said, "Listen," he says, "if I could prove to you, show you something, would you consider rolling?" I said, "It'd have to be really good, Charlie." He was back within 30 seconds. He came into the room with another 2 more agents. They set 2 machines down, one in front of me and one in front of the other agent. They were old style machines considering today's technology. They were reel to reel, and he put transcripts down. He said, "Tell me if you could identify these voices." So I heard the voices, and he stopped the recorder. Of course, they had the ear things on my ears. And he says, "Who are they?" I said, "I'm not going to tell you anything till I hear the whole tape." He was good with that. So I listened to the whole tape. I knew who the voices were. The guy in the voice first was Joe Lombardo out of Chicago, Illinois. He was acting boss of the Chicago outfit. The second voice was Tony Spilotro. He was the acting boss of Las Vegas, Nevada, who was my childhood friend, and I was his underboss. And in that conversation, I heard Joe Lombardo telling Tony, "What the hell is going on out there?" And Tony says back to him, "I can't control that guy. The guy's a raving maniac." And he says, "Well, who's popping people?" He says, "Same guy. He's nuts. I'm scared of him." He said, "Get him out and clean your dirty laundry." Well, I put the earphones down off my head, and I looked at Parson, and he said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "I can't talk to you right now." I said, "I need to go back to my cell. I have to think about this." So I left, and I went back. They brought me back to my cell, and I'm going to tell you, I had tears in my eyes because I grew up with this guy. And for my best friend to put a contract out on me was heartbreaking.
So there you have it.
It's the same thing I heard.
Yeah.
Clean your laundry. Get rid of your dirty laundry.
And yes, Dennis Arnoldi.
I heard the wiretap.
Former FBI Dennis Arnoldi almost confirmed that as well with the wiretap. We haven't been able to find it, but I understand something.
I have a copy of it. It's on my machine, but I'm trying to get it to you, and I can't. I can't even get an email to you.
You got to get that copy so I can play it. Seriously, because everybody
wants to hear. What I'm going to do, Adam, I might as well tell the audience, is I'm going to put it on a flash drive and mail it to you.
However we got to do it, you got to get that copy out here so that I can.
And I got the transcripts, too.
I'd love to.
They're kind of yellow. They're old, but they're...
Hey, we'll put the transcripts up as a PDF that people can download and read them themselves. You know, I
they're
think
a PDF.
I think that'd be Hey, if you guys want to see that, want to see those transcripts, type yes into the comments right now. Type yes. I just want to see if there's any interest at all in possibly putting those transcripts up as a download for you guys.
I don't know why anybody didn't believe Frank. You know why? This is my opinion. Okay, folks? Frank, when he went and testified at that trial with Sam DeStefano and Mario, the jury said Tony got off. Mario didn't. Sam was dead. But they said they didn't believe Frank's testimony on Tony. So that's why Tony walked on that one. So then later on, I heard from U.S. attorneys that he kind of lied. He kind of fibbed during his testimony. So he didn't want to hurt Tony. What a way to get paid back.
Man, not kidding. Unbelievable. Wow. It's really a shame how everything happened, and especially at the end there with him. And I could see why Frank rolled. I could see why, you give him the choice. You're loyal to somebody, and then you hear secondhand that person isn't being loyal back to you.
Not only that, Lombardo sent him out there. He sent him out to Las Vegas. I think it was 79.
Yes, he did. He did. Came up to him at his club and said, I heard you're moving to Vegas.
Spanky's. His club.
Yeah.
He just sold it. He had just sold it.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people said that they'd love to see those. And Cindy Workman, she even said that she'll drive over to your place, pick it up, drive them out here to me. And so that's how badly they want to see these and hear them. So I'm just saying, like I said, please put yes in the comments, and we got like 400 yeses. Okay, I mean, yes. So actually, that was just a really cool little trick to get me to get a whole bunch of people to put into the comments at once. That way, YouTube algorithms, they share the video more. Be sure to hit the like button. What do you think? You think I'm crazy and you guys don't think that I know that you want to see those PDFs as badly as I do? I've been on Red for months now, man, going, you got to, come on, let's see these things.
I've had a lot of problems with Google, though. I've had a lot of problems with Google.
Yes, that's what you keep saying that you have. So
now that I got Google back, maybe the mail will work.
Right? Maybe. Imran Patel said the affair with Tony and Jerry. What do you know about it, Red?
Nothing. He never spoke of it. I didn't know about it till after the movie. Movie came out, and I was at Rosenthal's place in in Boca Raton when that came out. Right. He had 5 acres in Boca Raton at that time. He called for a news conference on his front porch, and they came.
Wow. Okay, so Steve Cutler. Only thing I question from Frank saying is that Tony made him in Vegas. Not possible. Bosses have to be present to be made. That's from Steve Cutler. So,
Steve, I agree with you. I think Tony just said, "Yeah, you're a mate guy. You're my underboss."
He could have told him that. But
he could have said that.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, okay?
If he went back to Chicago at that time, though, he wouldn't have been recognized as a mate guy.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there, and this is coming from an extremely good source. And I was told this by this person. I'm not going to repeat any names. They were very serious with me too. There was no joking around. It was very serious. And I actually got to say, I was a little, kind of, I'm not telling you who it was though, but they told me, they said, I want you to get something straight. And I said, sure. What's the deal? And they said, never, ever would Tony have had the power to make Frank while he was in Vegas.
I believe that too.
Now, I'm not going against what Frank said. I'm just relaying a message, and I'm going to tell you that if I told you that this was coming from a really good source, I mean, this is coming from a really good source. So that's what I know.
According to the FBI, he wasn't made. According to the FBI, he was not made.
And I'm not saying that Frank doesn't believe that he was made. Okay, maybe Tony said to him, "Hey, man, you're my guy now," and that's
you're made. You're my underboss.
Okay, and then think about it. He was only maybe there for 2 years in Vegas before he was picked up on the stolen furniture charges and ended up rolling. And at that point, why would he even think about it anymore? For years, well, what would even mattered, right? So I don't know. I'm not saying that he was or wasn't, or I shouldn't say that. I'm not saying that he didn't believe that he was or wasn't. I think
No,
Frank
I
believed that.
think he believed it. I really do, because he stayed out in Las Vegas a lot. You know.
Yeah. American Gangster, yeah, for all intents and purposes, he was made, at least in Vegas. And maybe between him and Tony, he believed that he was. All right. But I'm telling you that somebody higher than Tony.
Up the ladder.
Yeah. And I'm not saying
Joey
names.
Lombardo would have never recognized him as a made guy.
Yeah.
And neither would have Louis Eberle.
Mm-hmm.
Louis the Mooch.
Yes. So it's pretty incredible. Hey, guys, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. We have about 20 minutes left of our hour here, Red, for Rednesday. And we have almost 300 people in here now watching, which is fantastic. And I want to thank all of you guys.
Thank you, folks.
Yeah, you guys are really making this happen. And it's great. So Luminous Grin, maybe Gianni Russo made Frank. Okay? It's possible. We got to ask Johnny and see, because Johnny could have done that. All right?
Yeah.
That I have no doubt about. Not a doubt in my mind. Okay? Fucking Gianni. Anyhow. Yeah, word is on the street, Husey67, Gianni Russo rides his bicycle with the seat off. And he likes it. Tony Tiger Varley.
Who said that joke? I like that.
Was Husey did. Husey67. Well, all right. Tony Tiger Varley wants to know, was Tony secretly gay?
No, not at all. He loved women. That's mostly what we talked about, was the women they were conquests for him. I mean,
okay.
He went through a lot of women. A lot of women.
So he was definitely, and that's what Frank told me too. Frank said if you were on Tony's crew and you got put away, most most guys would take care of your, wife, give some money to her and all that. He said if you're on Tony's crew, you got put away, Tony would be doing your wife. So that's what Frank said anyhow. So, wow. So, Vic Spilotro, did you know Vic Spilotro?
Yes, I did.
Calzone 83 wants to know that.
The first time I met Vic was, he got arrested. It was at a place on Roscoe, I believe, in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a betting parlor. And I went to that betting parlor. Jimmy Cozo wanted me to open up another one over on Dewan Avenue. Mm-hmm. Which is Grandstand, I believe, Grandstand or Premier. But I was there, and I was talking to everybody that was there, but he was there. And nice guy, easygoing guy, I thought. And the FBI raided the place while I was there. And so, fortunately enough, I knew one of the agents. He banged me up against the wall, cuffed me, and separated me from the rest of the people. But Vic was close to Hansen's, Ken Hansen, and Kurt Hansen, which was not part of, they weren't related at all to Joey Hansen that lived out in Arizona.
Okay. Vic wasn't the dentist.
No, that was Pat.
Pat was the dentist, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and hey, by the way, Gianni Russo, thank you for the $2. Johnny said it right there. He made Frank. See? Sorry.
Johnny, you're watching, huh?
Yeah, Steve Cutler. You have an upper crust pizza joint in Tom's River, New Jersey. Made you think of Frank. That's cool. Try and make Frank the upper crust pizza, the recipe. I'll throw a little link up here for the recipe to the pizza. And you guys can check that out and make the pizza. It's really good. Not bad at all. So, okay.
If you're on a keto diet. That thing is really...
So I'm about to start the keto thing, because I did the keto thing about a year and a half ago. Worked great. Lost a bunch of weight. Now I got these extra COVID pounds, man. So I'm like, going to start.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you for telling me about the diet. I love it.
Oh yeah, well, it works, right? So
I lost 19 pounds so far.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. How long did it take you? Not long, right?
2.5 weeks.
There you go. See, it falls off. I'm gonna do a cauliflower pizza. I have to do that. Will Mossy, do you know Spilotro's Vegas predecessor, Johnny Roselli? Fascinating guy. Thanks
I met Johnny. I met Johnny.
You did meet Johnny.
I didn't know when I first met him. I didn't know because I was sent to the Stardust, and this is before Tony was out there. This was back in 1969, and I was sent to the Stardust, and a man sat down next to booth to me. I was there on the bequest of Jimmy Couture, and a man sat next to me. He told me somebody was going to give me something. Don't look at it. Put it in the trunk of the car. And this guy sat down next to me, and he said, "We have a mutual friend, the guy with the shoes," and that was Jimmy Couture. And so he said, "When you check out, make sure you." And I left that night. I said, "When you check out, make sure you don't open it, don't tamper with it, put it in the trunk of the car, drive slow going home, don't get pulled over." When I got home, I gave it to Jimmy Couture. Actually, I didn't. I wrote about it in my book. Kurt Hansen took it from me, and then he gave it to Jimmy. But Jimmy was glad. He paid for my trip out there.
Yeah. I've heard you tell that story before. You also picked up some shoes for somebody.
Oh, that was Jimmy. Jimmy said he was paying for the whole trip. I was a guest at the house. I had gambling chips, everything. It was all great. And I made money, too. I bought my first piece of property, a 6-flat apartment building, when I got home from the gambling, right? So he told me, he said, pick up something. He said, pick up something nice for me while you're out there. Right. He said, I'm paying for the whole trip. And so I stopped and I thought about it and I said, like what? And he says, a nice pair of shoes. So I did. I brought him home some. They were white patent leather. And those shoes he was wearing when he was killed on Ogden and Hubbard.
Wow. Amazing.
On the news footage, I saw his legs hanging out of the car, his Cadillac, and I looked at it and said, those are the same shoes.
Right. Man, unbelievable. How creepy is that? You bought the guy the shoes. That
it's a crazy life. It's a crazy life.
Okay, real quickly here, let me play a little catch up with the comments because I know we're down to our last 10 or 15
Thank you, Larry. That was great of you, guy.
So Cindy wants to know about the pizza boxes, and Cindy, we actually have somebody else said it too, and I way back bought a coffee cup. Cindy bought a coffee cup. Another person's bought a coffee cup. They're autographed by Frank. There's 20 of them. We've sold like 3 or 4 of them so far. So there are still some left available if you want them. The pizza boxes. The pizza boxes I am almost finished with. The video that's going to go inside on the disc in the box. Almost finished. Probably another week or 2, and it'll be all completed. And
what's this, one of these things you put underneath the pie?
No. This is
DVD or whatever.
It's a little pizza box. Okay, it's an upper crust pizza box, miniature, and you can. Well, heck. Well, why would I even explain it? Let me just show you what it is. It's actually really cool. And I'm working on the video that's going to go inside. It was a video that Frank and I put together probably in the first year or so of working with him. Anyway, that's the pizza box right there. And inside the pizza box, you see, is a pizza. And it's like a stuffed pizza, It looks just like a stuffed pizza. It's nice and thick. It's got that top crust. And when you take that top crust off of the pizza, boom! See that? It's a DVD, and that's a disc. Okay.
Wow.
And then underneath the disc, this is cool. Underneath the disc, hidden inside the pizza, in the secret compartment, is this little pistol, this little revolver. See that? And it goes in the pizza. And the little revolver is a USB stick. You see, you can pull it apart. You plug that in the computer, and it's going to have the video as well as some extras and whatnot on it. So that's what the pizza box is. And this is a project we've been working on for crazy for a while. This is the first thing that I started doing with Frank, and we shot the video.
You can play it on Windows Media?
Yes, you can play it in Windows Media. It's an MP4 on the USB stick, and of course on the on the DVD, it's a DVD, so you could just play that. But I figured not everybody has it. I don't have a DVD player. I mean, I got a PS4 I can watch a DVD in, but I don't have DVD
Everybody
players
uses
anymore.
USB ports.
Yeah, everybody plugs in USB. Well, most people, but I figured we'd give them an option on it. Okay, Tedford Von Patriot, my man, thank you very much for being here today. And thank you for that donation. That is very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Thank you very much, Tedford. A Dazzling Urbanite, thank you. Appreciate it.
Blazing Saddles, bedazzling Urbanite.
Larry Lapper, thank you very much, Larry. Larry has a question for Red. What did you know about Angelo LaPietra, the Hook?
I never met him. I only heard stories about him, that he built the Italian American Social Club in Chicago with the skim money from Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I do have friends that belong to that club. They go over and hang out.
The Pizza Connection, Thomas Kendrick. All right. Bruce City, yeah, the pizza box with the flash drive. It's a great idea. Thank you.
I love it.
It's awesome. And as a matter of fact, if you guys want to jump on that wagon with the pizza box, there are autographed mugs. Like I say, the autographed mugs with Frank's signature on it. They're available. Like I said, we have a set of 20 of these things, and on the side of each one, they're numbered and they're autographed, hand autographed by Frank. So there's only so many. When they're gone, they're gone. And also there's some artwork, different artwork that we're putting up. Thumbprint cards. By the way, guys, you see that price there at $350? That's going to be taken down in about almost half of what it is in the near future. So don't buy these just yet. But we have really cool stuff like this gun. I think this is going to go for like $275 instead of $500 here, but it's an autographed airsoft gun. And it comes in this double matted with a replica ID card of Frank's.
Now you just made somebody hungry for pizza. David?
Oh, man, did I really? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that, guys. Anyway, the pizza box is also available here, and that's still at frankcullotta.com. So, although we will be putting up a new site called...
Now, does every box come with that CD and the flash drive pistol?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Every one of them comes, it's all the same. You get the box, you get the... Oh, and I didn't mention, too, the back of the box, they're autographed as well, and they're numbered. So it's a limited set that we have. And Frank did all these autographs, and it's one, like I say, when they're gone, they're gone. But those will be up.
Happy Easter, Thomas. Happy Easter.
Tom, you have any? Tom Yanks wants to know any Paul Ricca stories, Red?
Somebody just asked me that today on YouTube. I was looking at it. That's way before my time, guy. I didn't get involved till 1968. Paul Ricca wasn't around then.
Larry Lapper said, "Do you know Donald E. Stevens worked at Giancana's?"
No.
I don't know who's Donald E. Stevens.
He was the mayor of Rosemont.
Gotcha. Okay. Red, was John DeFranzo an informant?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I saw his file.
Okay.
At Family Secrets, I saw his file. I got to look at it through Mitch Mars, who was one of the prosecutors. I think he was the lead prosecutor. There was John Scully, Mitch Mars, John Scully, and the other guy, I keep forgetting his name.
Right.
But
Jimmy Coutura, Calzone 80, Calzone 83. Hey Husey, glad you're enjoying Rednesday. Calzone 83 said, please do a show with Red about Jimmy Coutura. He says, I have a lot of questions about him and on him.
Jimmy was a good man. I like Jimmy. He was a family man. He didn't play around. He married a Southern gal from Kentucky. He had his family, his kids. They lived in Oak Lawn. When I'd go out there, we'd all sit around and have dinner on a big table. All the women would cook, and the men would just sit out there and wait for dinner. They waited on us, too. They were good. Great. Good people.
How many informants... Sorry, how many informants do you know of in the Chicago outfit?
I didn't... Now?
Well, no, back then, I think is what they're
No,
asking. Like,
I didn't know anybody then.
you didn't know anybody was an informant. Back
We
then.
all went blind, so we didn't know who the other one was. So if somebody told on somebody else or brought in some information, we know, or they would know. But no, I didn't know anybody else, and they didn't know me. They could have been, and I didn't know about it.
What about your former apartment buildings? Ricky Grand is asking where your former apartment buildings were.
Which one? There's my original one was at 1345 West Carmen.
1345 West Carmen?
Right.
Okay.
And after that, I moved to 4121 Richmond, and I sold that building. That was many years ago. And I bought 1343 North Wells. And then I bought the building next door to that on Wells Street, which was 1345, which is kind of funny because one was 1345 West Carmen and one was 1345 North Wells. That must have been my lucky number. I should pay that on the pick 4, numbers.
That's still it? 1345 West Carmen right there?
Yeah. It's a 6 flat brick. That's not it.
Maybe it's on this side, huh?
Yes.
Is that it?
That's it.
There you go. Okay, so, wow.
See the gangways on the sides?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a 4-car garage in back for 6 apartments. And parking was rough in that neighborhood because at the end of Carmen, I forget the street, but they had Aaron Russo's Kinetic Playground. It was
wow.
It was a big entertainment thing. People used to come and park on the parkways, and
Right.
they park everywhere.
Got any Joey Iupa stories? Tom Yanks is asking.
No, I don't. No. I don't.
He looked like a really he looked like a guy you really didn't want to mess around with. Didn't look like he
I never even heard anything about him.
Wow. Imran, was Tony Spilotro extorting drug dealers in Las Vegas? Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes, he was.
Frank talked about that.
Mr. Fugazi, if Accardo was alive, the family secrets wouldn't have happened. Accardo would have seen it somehow. The best boss. Hold on. Accardo.
I believe he's correct. I believe he's correct.
Mm-hmm.
If Accardo was alive, a lot of people would get clipped way before it ever happened.
Sure, what never happened, huh?
No. Actually, they tried to kill Tony out in Vegas before he went to Chicago.
Did he?
Yeah, Joey Hansen was out there, and Frank Schweiss was out there, and other people. Schweiss came up with the idea of taking an Uzi and gunning him down on the courtroom steps. And he said, that's not going to look out good out in Vegas. And Nick Calabrese testified to that in Family Secrets.
Wow. Unreal. That's kind of, Wow.
They actually went out there to scope it out, and they said, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Husey67, Adam, will you try and get Gianni Russo on the show? Word is he squats on bedposts. Well, wouldn't that be interesting to see, huh? Could have him do a little demonstration over here.
I don't want to see it.
You're going to make me spit my coffee out, man. You guys are unbelievable. Leon Phelps, how accurate do you think Bill Romer's books are?
His first one is very accurate. Man Against the Mob is very accurate. After that, I knew Bill, and I used to talk to him out in Arizona. And after that, his publisher told me that he was a grade 14 and he just listened to wiretaps. It wasn't like when he actually went out and he was on the street after Giancana and he was talking to Sam DeStefano and stuff like his books after that. He kind of blew it all in his first book. Mm-hmm. And he just kept coming out with books because he knew what the wiretaps were. So I love his first book. The ones after that, I don't even know. I didn't read I read a little bit of the second one, but everybody told me he embellished too much, on different things on the other books.
Oh.
But he was a friend of Butch Blassie's.
Right.
Butch Blassie and him were friends. And Butch Blassie said he didn't do it to Bill Romer. And Bill Romer said he believed him.
I would think that his books are pretty accurate, but then again, I wasn't there. I don't know.
We don't know.
Tom Yanks,
I don't know either for sure.
I can send you a picture, but there is a picture in the outfit hierarchy, and there is a Joe Cullotta that's a captain. That's a Joe Kong. That's not a relation to Frank Cullotta. That's not the Joe Cullotta that you guys will see on here sometimes and making comments and whatnot. Frank's brother, different person. Different person altogether, because Frank's brother.
Joe never got involved with the outfit.
Never involved with anything. Frank wouldn't let him. Frank was like, "You're not gonna be a bad kid like me." So, anyway, John Allen, did anyone get the reward of $10,000 for Schweiss? Do you know?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the guy that called him in for Buena, Kentucky. In Buena, Kentucky, he called the local FBI. They sent people from Chicago. They watched them and then sent people from Chicago FBI down there to actually make the physical arrest. They were from the mob squad. And the owner of the apartment building complex that he lived in collected the $10,000. Then they upped Joey Lombardo's to $20,000, and Pat Spilotro got that. He took the check for 20 grand. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
There was originally 10 on each one.
Wow. Interesting. I did not know that. Josh and Jesus. Did you ever run into Norby Walters? I don't even know who Norby Walters is. Again, is that another mayor?
If I did, I don't know about it.
Okay. So, all right. Well, listen, guys, it is, we're going over an hour now, and it's been exciting. It's been wonderful. It's been fun. I know some of you have been driving along, listening, hanging out. Maybe you're sitting at home. Maybe you're cooking dinner. Who knows? But it has been fun with you guys today and with Red. And I'm just going to, a couple quick last things. We'll wrap this up. But please, before you go, hit that like button. Hit the like button. Smash it, guys. There's 250 of you in here. We ought to have at least 400 likes by now. So
prescribe and like.
Hit the button. And yeah, and be sure to prescribe. If you're new here and you haven't, go hit that. Prescribe. Go over to Red. Check out Red's channel. Hit the subscribe over there. I hope you guys enjoyed Gary Jenkins. We had Gary Jenkins an interview on. Maybe in a little while we're going to get him again. But I have to tell you guys the big news. So don't leave just yet. How many of you, how many of you, and I want you to push yes in the comment. Put yes in the comment if you know who Ken Ito was.
Ken Ito.
I thought it was Ito.
Ito. We called him Ito.
Well, I think it's pronounced Ito. But
it maybe is, but
if you heard Joe the Jap, right?
Yeah,
Tokyo Joe. Tokyo Joe, Ito, Joe Ito, Joe Edo. We're going to figure it out.
All the agents call him Ken Ito.
Hit yes. Hit yes. I want to see yes in the comment if you know who he is. And then I want you to tell me in the comments. Oh, John Allen says, no, you don't know who he was. Tokyo Joe, man, this guy had a hard head. Bullets bounced off of it, man. All right, I mean, this guy got shot 3 times in the head. Three in the head, and got up and went into a pharmacy after Jasper Campisi and John Gattuso shot him, okay, in the car. Yeah, he laid there. He laid there like he's laying there going, I know I got shot 3 times in the head, but I'm still alive. What the hell's going on? So he laid there. He got up, runs into a convenience store, starts bandaging himself. And anyway, he gets pulled in by the FBI, and he had just, the reason that they put the hit out on him is they were afraid he was going to roll. Because he was brought in and arrested by the feds on gambling,
also
racketeering.
Holding back money.
Right. So anyway, No, they weren't rubber
Toledo games. He ran the Toledo games in Chicago.
Right. He was the part of the. He was actually worked underneath Vince Solano.
Vince really got.
Yes, and
They nailed Vince on that.
check this out. Check this out. So next Rednesday, before Red and I come on here, I got an interview, and I got this interview by this with this FBI agent who debriefed.
I watched one of her interviews. She is really good. She knows what she's doing.
She is fantastic. She is excellent, and I think you guys are going to be really intrigued by her story because she, at the time, being the 70s and into the 80s, being a female FBI agent, first off there were like 4 of them, okay? And they all had to sit there and just listen to wiretaps. That's what their job was.
A lot of girls worked in the office, but not many were on the street.
None in the field. Right, exactly. So anyway, we got an interview with her, and she wrote a book.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm telling you, I've searched YouTube. She's done like 2 or 3 interviews. They did this awesome show about her in Japan, but not here. And I watched it. It was fantastic.
He was Korean, though, wasn't he?
It was what?
He was Korean, I thought.
No, it's Japanese because during World War II, they put him into a camp, one of those internment camps. Internment camps, exactly.
He was in Ohio in an internment camp, and he came back.
Yeah, this guy had a crazy rough life, man. But unbelievable story. And Elaine Smith is her name, retired former FBI. She's going to do an interview and tell all about him and all about the different things that she knew of going on in the Chicago outfit.
She debriefed him. She was the only agent that actually got that close to him.
Right. So she has some wild stories. It's going to be really good. So we're doing that interview. Then we'll post that as not a live interview, but we'll post it. And then maybe I can get her to come back and do some questions with you guys on a live video, which would be awesome, I think. So it would be really cool. Quickly, before we wrap it up, Cheryl Mann, thank you very much. You're a wonderful doll. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I really do. But thank you guys for those of you that
we all appreciate you, Adam.
Contributions. Well, thank you very much, Red. I appreciate you guys. All right, Scott H., Mickey Griggs. Oh, real quick, Scott H. Yes, you asked the question earlier. I put it up here. I never read it. The pornos. So, your porno shop. Where were the pornographic films made? Were they made by the Chicago outfit? Were they made somewhere else?
I made some.
You made some?
Yeah, I owned LV Productions at the time. And I was doing some. And mind you, they weren't talkies. We didn't have videotape where it did videotape. But most of it came from L.A. I didn't get anything from the East Coast. I got all from California.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the people out there were L.A. Video was a big one, but 90% of it was done out in L.A.
Okay, so you just brought the stuff in from L.A., but Red had to watch every frame of every video and every page, every magazine, and every book that you had in your bookstore or your video store, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he used to eat his Wheaties in the morning and watch porn at the same time. Imagine that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't lie. Yes, you did. He's eating his Wheaties like breakfast of champions, man.
The magazines were bad, but going through each film to see if there were any animals or children, because that was forbidden. The FBI told me, they said, you've got to make sure that there's no kiddie porn out there and no animal films.
Hey, somebody's got to watch out for that stuff.
And Kurt Hansen went ahead and made a video called Pony Express, and I won't even tell you. It's like a Tijuana act. Never mind.
No, yeah, okay.
But he went did it.
Actually, Gianni Russo produced those porno movies, you know? God! You know, the squatting on the bedpost thing. Anyway, so the... Heavy-O said that Lots of hairy guys. No, that's JS. No. We aren't talking hairy people, all right? That's nasty. All right, stop.
Oh, Jeremy. Ron
Jeremy. Oh, my God.
Now he's in prison.
Yeah, is he now? He's in prison for the whole Me Too thing, right?
Double rape.
There you go, man.
He's gone.
Hanging out with Bill Cosby. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, okay, so Phil Felix. Philip Wright, your porn name is Phil Felix. Mine's Monster Rod von Hugenstein. Hey, Will Mossy. Gianni Russo was the star of Deep Throat. Can you believe it?
No.
All right. So anyway, yeah, get Gianni Russo on here. Sure, Grievous. It's the last place that he'll be. Trust me. Anyway,
I remember some of the classics like Debbie Does Dallas, Deep Throat, which was just mentioned, and those were really classics. They really sold.
Jeez.
Those were videotapes.
No, that's back when porn was porn. You know, bong chicka wonk, bong chicka wonk. You know,
it was artistic.
Yeah, it was artistic. Now it's just smut. Smut these days.
Somebody called me a nickel and dime smut dealer. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, jeez. Gianni Russo was the star of Deep Bum. Did you hear that one? I'm guessing that John S. is Jack Spurter. Is that that's your name? Great. Anyway, okay, guys, we're going way off the deep end here. I mean, we just went from Tony Spilotro talk to smut. So, anyway, yes, Craig, porn, where the customer always comes first. Tell you what, though, Red had that shop, you know, and it had the little video arcade in the back. And when people would leave, Red would hand them a handy wipe, say, "Thanks, come again."
We're going to be making Red jokes instead of Johnny Russo jokes.
Man, I know, right? Anyway, okay. So, guys, Outfit Boss, we're going to talk about Vincent and Ciro another time. But, guys, it was... Debbie Goes Ohio is a great movie. Johan, man, I didn't see Debbie Goes Ohio.
That was her sequel.
Was it a sequel? Oh my gosh. Debbie Does the Rest of Dallas. Anyway. Debbie, hey guys. It has been a fun Rednesday, but guys, we're way over time, and it's been great hanging out with you. I can't thank you guys anymore. And be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Smash that like button. Okay? And if you're new here, prescribe. Okay? Awesome. Hey, Red, thank you very much.
You're welcome, man.
Had a great time once again. And everybody...
It's good seeing all these people. I'm starting to recognize the names.
I know. No, I am too. It's great. And I'm not butchering them as badly. Anyway... so guys, it has been fun once again. We'll be back next Rednesday, and we got to make a coffee cup. You need a coffee cup. We got to make a coffee cup, something that's like
Rednesday.
I don't give a red rat's ass, or I don't like Mondays. Happy Rednesday, something like that. That'd be cool. Anyway, hey guys, thank you very much for watching Mob Vlog. Have a great day.